Hi everybody, it's Debbie Skyrme, and I'm Celebrant Spain, and I'm really excited because I've got a good friend with me who's a wedding planner locally in Malaga and Nerja, and it's Marian Herrero from your wedding in Spain. So Marian, can you introduce yourself for everybody, please?
Hi everybody, it's a pleasure to be here with all your community. My name is Marian Herrero, as Debbie has said, and I'm the wedding planner. I'm a wedding planner specialized in destination weddings. I'm based in Malaga, though I do plan weddings all over the country, I would say, but we love Malaga, don't we, Debbie?
Yes, we do. And we've got the most amazing wedding community here with some brilliant suppliers. So what I wanted to ask you today was, how do you go about finding suppliers? And if you're a couple that's coming locally to Spain, what can you recommend? What are your top tips for connecting with suppliers? And just give me the insights. How do you do it?
That's a very good question, because once you have a couple with you, I mean, couple has signed a contract and we work for them, because I really want to mention that we work for the couple. We don't work for any of the suppliers. So I don't have any exclusivity with suppliers. And, you know, I want them, because each couple is a different couple, right? So that's why I don't want to, all I want them to have is the best experience ever. That's my main goal. So once we have talked each other about what's their ideal wedding, what they have in mind, what is the main, what are the main aspects for them too, actually, because it's not all about the bride. The groom has something to say as well, right? So when we know what's important for them, then we start, and we know the budget. And I have to mention this because it's very important to know the budget. It's very important from the point of view of the planner, right? Because where do we start from, and how far can we get? Yeah. Those are the things that help us to know where to look at.
That's a really good point, because often you have a budget in your mind, and then you go onto Instagram and you see these amazing photos, and you go onto Pinterest and you see these lovely storyboards, and you think, okay, I don't just want these flowers, I want these flowers. But it's very important from the wedding planner's point of view to know that you have a range of florists that you can call on, so that if it is going to be the lower end option, then you've got a florist that will provide a really good quality floral art, but not a big price. But then if there's a couple that want to go over the top with their flowers, then you also have a supplier that you can connect with that can do that for them. So the budget is really important.
It is really important. For me, it's one of the main, it's really on the top 3 things that they have to do once they know that they want to get married. And the second, they would be like, okay, we want to get married abroad, and we have to start, you know, making a draft of our budget, because otherwise, you know, it will depend on the budget where you're gonna have the wedding. I mean, venue, even everything, decoration, the type of supply. It's not going to be the same if you go for a live band, if your budget permits, or you have to go for a guitar player, which is great as well, don't get me wrong, because and some couples, they just want to have the guitar player, and it's lovely. I don't want to make anyone feel bad because they want to have a guitar player. It's actually lovely. But I mean that obviously, depending on the amount of people that are involved, that would be the final price. It's, for example, I give you another example, like you want this type of photography, right? Like the casual one, and very natural, and not melty and not cheesy, because that's the style that you like. That's perfect. But if you really want to have a better book, or, you know, get the best out of the day, and if your budget allows you to do it, then you could have that special photographer, but with a second camera. So somebody else is coming with him. Exactly. Yeah. So the whole wedding is like, you know, taken from different point of view, different angles in this case, and you get a better, obviously a better album in the end. you know.
Yeah.
But obviously not it will depend on the budget once again. So that's why I know that people hate to talk about money, but it's what we have to do, and that's why you need to keep on track of everything. You need to know your budget first.
And I think the one thing that surprises a lot of couples is that a wedding planner can actually save you money. So if you're a couple in the UK, for example, and you don't speak the language, you don't speak Spanish, and you may have got 1 or 2 recommendations from Facebook or something like this, you're not necessarily able to negotiate the best price with the supplier. You're not necessarily finding the right supplier for you and your budget and your vision. And you as a wedding planner, you're here, you're a Spanish national, you speak the language fluently, and you've got really good contacts, and you actually have contacts with people that you trust as well. And I think trusting your supplier is very important too, isn't it?
Well, actually, you have mentioned 2 points very important for me. The main one, maybe, or the first one, I would say, is to save money. But we have to think of having a planner save you money. Yes, but not just on the sense of money itself. It will save you time, and time means money in the end. You know, because normally when a couple comes along, it's like, okay, we know that we want to get married in this place, or we would love to do this and do that and stuff. But then it's the role of the planner, or it's the main task to make real all those ideas and say, okay, we could do this, but if you really want to do this service, we need to wrap some money from another service. Do you see what I mean? Like, for example, as you were saying before with the floral decoration, maybe it's not that important if it's going to be like a church wedding, or you know, or a religious one. Maybe it's not that important to put that big arch of flowers for that couple, and we can do something else. You know, it's that's what a planner does. Normally, for them, it's going to be the first wedding. And most of the time, just the wedding of their lives, I hope. But for us, we have so many on our back that we know how to get the best out of the budget. So that's why a planner can save you money. And then as well, because I can, as you said, sorry, I cut you off, did I?
No.
Sorry. A planner will obviously work for your benefits. So that means that you will say, I don't need, my client, my couple doesn't need this service, so let's make it cheaper for them. We're not going to use this, let's do that. Or sometimes it's not even like reducing the price. This is something that I enjoy. I try my best to make the couples understand that it's not just reducing the price, because some of them are like kind of, they're not keen on reducing prices, but they add something extra for the service, which is great as well. Let's put the sample of the photographer. Maybe if we are meeting, you know, if we're having the rehearsal of the wedding, or we're having a rehearsal dinner or something, some of the photographers are willing to come and have a few, you know, take a few pictures of them. So that means that they're going to pay the same price, but at least they have that.
Yes.
You know, so and that's something that we can negotiate probably better than the couple, because of the language barriers and everything. So and because we have we know the contacts. And that's the second point that I wanted to mention. Sorry, I'm you know how chatty I am, so I carry on. The second point.
So much experience. I just love chatting with you.
I want to say everything, because I want people who watch this video, I want them to get the best tips, because the second point is, you said suppliers that you can rely on is so important. For us, sometimes it's the first time we're using the suppliers. I mean, you know, I don't want to say, oh yeah, you know, I have worked with everyone already. That wouldn't be possible, right? But it's just the way they approach to us, it's the way they communicate, is the way when I'm saying this when I haven't worked with that supplier before, right? But it's a question of trusting people, yes, but as well, it's like, okay, making the right questions to know if that person is a professional one or not. And I'm gonna go again with the photographer sample. Like, for example, if a couple, because they are, you know, on internet, and they find someone who does photography the way they like, I've been in this sample myself. So I go to, and I always say, okay, give me the number, the details, and I call them and I see, you know, I see how they work, you know, the way they do things, and try to get some more information about that photographer. And one of my questions is always, okay, so, and what happens if your camera doesn't work? Or what happened, have you got another equipment? Have you got two flashes when you come to a wedding? There are so many questions to make to see if that person is a professional one or not. If that person is actually, you know, with a mindset that thinks, well, if I don't take, you know, the picture of the change of the rings, it's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
You know, so you need people who really you can rely on.
You're so right. I had that experience, and I won't name names, but the photographer was a professional, and he used two cameras, and he used two cameras throughout the ceremony. And it took a long time for the photos to come back to the couple, and the reason was one of the cameras didn't work. One of the cameras was broken. So in effect, they lost all those photos. But because this photographer was a professional and used two cameras, then we hadn't lost the entire wedding. We still had a beautiful record of the day.
Great.
And yeah, that's so important.
It is important. It's important. I don't know if that happened to you, but me as a planner, I had couples that, because I'm going to put the sample in Nerja, because you know that I'm from Nerja, right? So they go to one of the main tourist places in Nerja, and they see somebody there playing something, saxo or violin or whatever, and because that was their moment, and they fell in love with that moment and stuff, they want that person to come to their wedding and play some music, which I love it. But there are some other aspects that we have to bear in mind. And then we see if that person is the right one to come. Why I'm saying this is, like, for example, people, like, you know, is emotion in the end. I mean, we're talking about weddings, we're talking about love here, you know, if we're talking about the skin, it's like really something that you can feel. So, and I know that person playing the saxophone at that moment, at that right moment, it was perfect. But for example, maybe it's not on a legal situation, so that means that can't go to a venue, or it's maybe someone who says, yeah, I'll be there, and maybe it's not coming on the right time for your cocktail, for example, or maybe it's coming in a very casual outfit, and at the end of the day, we are on a wedding. There's so many other things that you have to bear in mind when it comes to a supplier.
Yes, you touched on something very important there, and that's being legal. So just a little warning to anybody thinking of booking their own wedding suppliers: do check that they are registered autonomo, which means that they are self-employed, because otherwise you don't have any comeback. Anybody who is autonomo is paying into the system, and you'll find that they will have insurance and all kinds of support. And if somebody is, should we say, not legal, then you haven't got that backup, you haven't got that support. So that's very important.
Exactly, it is important. And some people, I mean, especially when you come from abroad and you don't know the system, it's something that you don't think about. you just not, it doesn't even cross your mind. It's like, what, legal, what are you saying?
Yeah.
But it's something that we as planners, and from your side as well, you know, people who are involved with the industry, we need to know, and we need to, you know, think about the fact that someone from the government could come during the wedding and do like an inspection, and then they can get a fine. Is that, yeah, they can get a fine for that. And that's how it happens. It's not something that it never will happen. You know, it's something that you always see that is happening to someone else until it comes to you.
Yeah, yeah. Also, a little word of caution. If you're coming from the UK in particular and you want to bring a wedding supplier with you, it could be a musician, it could be a photographer, then just be aware that post-Brexit, there are now additional rules and regulations, so that you must have a legal post-Brexit service agreement in order to work in Europe if you come from the UK. So
very good point
to look out for there.
Yeah,
Marianne, it's been amazing chatting with you. I'd like to have lots more chats with you, but for now, I'm sure couples would like to get in contact with you. So how can they find you?
They could go, I mean, it's been a pleasure as well for me. And I hope that we do this very often, because I know that we have loads of information that we can give to your couples and to your clients and my clients. So, I mean, I'll be more than happy to talk to any of your contacts. If they have any question, I always offer a free consultation. They just have to go to my website, www.yourweddinginspain.com, and they can just, you know, click on there. We actually have a very good post that they can download, talking about how to organize a destination wedding. So we give them for free 10 super tips, I would say, to organize their own wedding. And if they need some more information, I'll be here to help. I'm always here to help.
Brilliant. And on social media,
we have
social media.
Sure, we have our Facebook profile as well. So our Facebook page, Your Wedding in Spain, and Instagram as well. They can go there, and if they want to see some of the videos, they can go to our YouTube channel, which is Your Wedding in Spain.
Brilliant. Well, what I'll do is I'll put all this information into the comments below as well, so that people have got the links that they can find you very easily. Marian, thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure, Debbie. I see you very, very soon. I spoke to you soon.
Yes, well, just to say, I'm Debbie Skyrme. I'm Celebrant Spain, and I'm celebrantspain.es. And on social media, I'm Celebrant Spain. So, Marianne, I'll speak to you very, very soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.